Hey folks, today I'm going to talk to you about WebRTC. So what is WebRTC? Well, it's a technology used for peer-to-peer communication in the browser. It's very fast for reasons I'll get into. And it enables streaming video and audio between peers on their different browser windows. It is also very well suited to collaboration between peers. A common use case is in collaborative text editors. Now, who uses WebRTC? Well, Google Hangouts uses WebRTC for its video conferencing. And I'll include a little bit of history here. The project called WebRTC was actually released by Google. And I say released and not developed because it happened following their purchase of a voice over IP company called Global IP Solutions and open sourcing of their technology. So a lot of the ideas may have actually come from Global IP Solutions. The original implementation of WebRTC was also developed by Ericsson Labs. We can credit Google with doing a lot of the bureaucratic and spec writing work with the IETF and W3C. Facebook Messenger uses WebRTC for its video and audio streaming, as well as Facebook Live and VR chat. And Discord also uses it. So why is it so fast? Well, it tries to transmit over UDP rather than TCP, so it saves time that would be spent establishing a connection and exchanging ACKs and sequence numbers. There are usually multiple possible methods that peers can connect to each other with, and the process of connection negotiation sort of sorts through all the different connection methods and chooses the fastest. Now, how does it work? Well, each client needs to keep track of a description of the media being transmitted by both themselves and by the remote peer and information about the connection. This gives the browser the information it needs for peer-to-peer communication. And we can see it sort of visualized here. So how do the peers exchange this information? Often through what's called a signaling server, and it's represented by that cloud in the middle. And you can see the two browsers, or the two mobile apps. These may be like PhoneGap type apps, hybrid apps. And you can see they're exchanging a session description and a description of the media that they want to broadcast. And you can see the browsers, after the connection is set up in the signaling server, they're exchanging that media directly. So they're streaming their video and audio peer-to-peer rather than through a centralized server. And let me show you a demo of this in action. Okay, so here's a demo. What you're seeing right now is a kind of WebRTC console that Firefox provides. So you can see there's not much to look at right now because we don't have any WebRTC connections. So let's form some WebRTC connections. Okay, so this is a little app that I've set up. It's kind of a Zoom clone called Super RTC Cafe Chat. It's on Heroku app. Let me just clear out this path here. So first all we have to do is log in. Ignore that, that's my washing machine. So I'm just going to log in as myself. And we still don't have a WebRTC connection, but what we've done is we've connected to the signaling server over WebSocket. So you can see that I've gotten a session ID, and don't worry too much about that is right now, but you can see that we've joined a room. So what we've done here is we've made ourselves discoverable in this room to anybody else who connects. So we're going to have a second tab open up into the same room, which is the room is just this random ID right here. And let's just open up this. Okay, so I've joined the room with this second user. You can see I've also sent join here. Let's take a look at what the other tab is seeing. So what you're seeing here is we got a message called acquire peers from the signaling server. And that's just telling us that the other user that joined, it wants to connect to us. So we've sent a message back, acquire peers response. And you can see that message was received in that other tab. And then we're just exchanging a bunch of different primitives. And we'll go into what those are later on in part 2. But for now, let's exchange some media. So I'm going to tell this tab to start broadcasting the camera footage. And you can see it without any delay. It's sent over. It's streaming. And do it the other way. And yeah, it appears pretty quickly. So you can see you can form peer-to-peer connections pretty quickly. Let's see what's going on in that WebRTC console. Well, if I refresh, you can see that 2 connections were formed. So that's just 1 for each tab. And you can see here that it went through a few different connection configurations before it found one that it liked. It found a few, actually. So it formed a connection based on this local candidate and this remote candidate. And again, I'll go into what candidates are later on. But what I just want to show off is that it cycled through a few different options and it chose the best one. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. That's about it. All right, thanks for listening. So today we've covered what WebRTC is, a little bit of the history, a high-level overview of how it works. And next time we'll go through a more detailed overview and how connections are formed. All right, thanks.